Morning, day off today, Tuesday and Wednesday are my days off this week. This is my weekend this weekend, this weekend through the week. In Sod's Law, it is pouring down with rain. So I came up with a plan last night and I've got a list of jobs to do which include inside jobs, which include the polytunnel, the lilies, digging the beds out, cleaning the bottom greenhouse. So I've got lots of things I can get on with today even though it is still pouring down with rain. Now I came down last night after I finished work and I did a few odd jobs, and I'll show you them jobs in a second when the rain dies down. But first things first, let's get this fire on because it's a bit nippy in here today. That's better. Get that wood on there, get nice and warm. Yeah, it's absolutely bucketing down the day. I'll keep this greenhouse nice and warm. I've got my seat in there for chopping a few bits more wood later on today when I've finished a few tasks. So even when I'm sitting relaxing, I've got something to do. First task will be the lilies. Now I'm pleased I brought these in the other day. I've got some, all these pots at the back here are lily bulbs. I've had them in a couple of years now and I need to separate them off now, definitely. The deep red lilies are my favourite. I did have a pink lily which was beautiful as well, but I seem to have lost it. These down here are chrysanthemums. I might change them out as well while I'm on the case, but I need to get some more 10-litre pots, so I'm going to go get them first, get prepared, get the compost in here, and then I want to get these taken out and then potted up and separated. Now last year I did the sensible thing. I marked what these lilies were, and then I realised after a longevity of time that the milk bottle tags that I made, the Sharpie pen comes off them. So that's not the greatest. So at the moment I don't know what these ones are, so I will be keeping these ones separate. I've got 2, 4, 5 deep red lilies, and I've got 1 London Heart, which is like a deep red lily as well. So I know what's what. I don't know what these ones are, so this is I'm going to keep them separate. I'm going to see what they are, then mark them up properly with proper tags when the time comes. So I'm going to get these all emptied out here, one bucket at a time, mark them up 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 so I know what they are. Then I don't have to worry about what they are, then I can just mark them up later on. Well, I think I'm going to have a rethink of this. I've just emptied out this one pot. I've gotten 2 10 litres and 4 the smaller ones for all the little combs. So that's going to be a lot. It's going to be going to be loads, to be honest. I'm having a think here. Like you say, I do like the lilies, and I know I said I put them in pots, but I think what I'll do is I'll take all the little ones out and I'll just pot them into the little pots. And I think I might put the big ones in this middle bed here, just so I've got loads of lilies in the middle of this middle bed here this year, because I'm not going to be growing leeks in here. So well, in this middle bed anyway. So I might just do that and see how things go, and take them out when the end of year comes. I'm just going to clear the tops of these ones off. Then I'm going to put them one side, and when they come up, I'll mark them, and then next year I can separate them all off and see what I've got. Thinking on my toes here, thinking on my toes, changing plans. It's always off the whim, so that's what I'm going to get sorted now. So when this bed now is prepared and flat, I'm going to take out all of the deep red lilies. For 5 tubs, I'm going to take the biggest bulbs and I'm going to put them into spacing. I'll have a look and see what the space needs to be. Probably going to do about 6-inch intervals, so they are close together, but I'll double check anyways when I have a look online to see what the actual spacing is. Now when you just wish you hadn't started a job. Well, in the greenhouse, I noticed a drip. So I took the clamps off, tried to tighten them up, and I think the clamp, the bit of rubber that's joining them two bits together there, has come away, or it's got a hole in it. So I'm having to drain the whole tank off, and then I'm going to have to remove that section and fit it with a new bit of rubber, which was not on the job to do today. So if I shut the fire down, I have to drain this out and attend to this. Doesn't rain, but it pours, eh? Right, after a massive slaver on, palms of my hands are killing because I had to do it manually with a big screwdriver. I'll show you the piece that I've put in. I don't know why I didn't think about doing it in the first place. So I'm busy filling it up at the minute. I've made sure all of these connections are tight here. I think I found what the problem was. That I had this angle, which was it was a lot more steep, and that's because this bar here, over time, it started sliding down because that bracket wasn't tight, which meant that this section that was here, which actually was only, it was tiny, look at that, it was only that little bit there. So that was only a bit on there. I mean, it's not much of a join on here, but I've managed to narrow the angle and find this bit here, perfect size. Put these on as tight as I can get them. The water's going through it now, so no further problems with that. But once again, see a job, do it, but also not a job I was expecting to do today. So I'm just busy filling this up now to see if it can manage the water pressure when the water hits right at the top here. So because the fire is hot as well, that's the reasons why it's pushing back. So as you can see, because the bottom pipe is filling up with water, the hot water is pushing it back round. That's the reason why the water's coming out the top pipe there. Now as soon as that starts filling up, the whole system, it's just basically bleeding out basically at the minute. It's getting rid of all the air, and once that fills up, it'll get rid of all the air again, and that's it, sorted, done. But because of gravity, that's what this is, it's a gravity system. So there should be no airlocks in it, because there's nowhere for the air to go apart from in the tank, which is an open top. This should all be fine. So I'm waiting for this to sort out, and I'll get crack back on with them lilies. Right, back on with the original task. Now you know I love free plants, love them, fantastic. Anything you do, grow your own, free, bulk up on produce, bulk up on your own stock as well is fantastic. I don't do enough of it, to be honest. Like the dahlias, chrysanthemums, I can do all of these, that's not a problem. I will be getting my little mini mums sorted out when they do pop up. This is a prime example. So I bought these bulbs from Wilco's, I think it was 2 years ago. Now these are called London Heart, and I started with 2 bulbs. So started with 1, 2. So say as that must start with 2. That's it, done. So there's your 2. So I see your 2, and I'll raise you 2 more. In fact, go back in here and have a look. There's another couple more as well. So we've got another 1, 2. These are different years, of course. So they're different ages. So there's another 3, which will bloom next year, the smaller ones. So there's a baby one, first years. And that's how they do it. These ones are kind of clumping. So they clump together, and then they get bigger and bigger, and the biggest ones survive. So as you can see in here, there we go, some more. So this is all I've done for the past few hours. These have basically grown from the main bulb itself, right on top of the main bulb. So there's another one. Put on the bucket, make sure it's not mixed up. Another one and another one, and there we go. It is time consuming. It's like anything else, you need to have patience. But this is a job that I don't like that. I wish I never started, but once it's done, I know it's going to be great once I'm done. But as you can see, you can maximise the amount of plants that you've got if you buy the right types of plants, basically. So like I say, we like the lilies. Leslie likes the lilies. I like the look of the lilies as well. And if I just go through here, there must be some more. I've got a feeling there is somewhere. I'm not talking to you. No, that's it. Oh no, there's some there. So there you go. Find some more. And these are little baby ones again. So I'm just going to be very quick here and just sort them out, and then I'll show you the bucket afterwards, basically. I'll show you how many different lily bulbs we're getting from 2 main bulbs 2 years ago, and I bought these from Wilco's. So I've got this quickly done. The original bulb I think rots away, leaving with the offspring, which I've got 4 bulbs here, which should give us a flower this year, and I've got about 24 little ones here, which will give us flowers in the years to come. So I'll show you how I'm going to plant these out in this bed, and also I've got the other ones here. I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see there. So I've got the majority of these ones. I started again with 2 bulbs, and I've got absolute tons and tons and tons here to plant into this section here. So I just need to organise what I'm going to do. I'll probably do them in 5s, and then just move on to the next section down here. Put these in, but I'll show you how I'm going to put them in, because I'm going to do them and not just put them straight in the ground. We'll do a little bit different. What I was going to do was I was going to sink pots into the ground here, so that when I come to lifting them out, I would just lift them out straight away. But then I thought the roots would probably get pop bound in the little pots, so I'm not going to do it. So using the brain a little bit, trying to be clever, let's just leave things as they are normally. So what I'm going to do behind this here, I'm going to set up a pattern on how I want to set the lilies out. I'll see how many I've got in total, and then I'm going to have a think of what I'm going to do with the little ones, see where I can put them for this year. And that's that done. So we should have a lovely display of lilies in this middle bed this coming year. I've just drenched the bed, give it a good drink because it was bone dry. I've also given them a few carrots, just a little drink as well, because I'll be lifting them in the next couple of days. I found some bluebell potatoes, and this is used compost. So what I've done is I've dug right down, just chucked the bluebell potatoes in, I'll leave them in there for an early set. We'll see what becomes of them. The rest of the lilies, I've given them a drink as well in the pots. We'll just see what happens with them when they come through. But that has taken a lot longer than I anticipated, and I've still got all of these to plant as well, which I'll not be doing today, so I'll be covering them up. And what I'm going to do with them is, outside the polytunnel here in this raised bed, I've already got some grown. So these are from when I first put them in years ago. Take them up because that's garlic. I'm going to clear this bed off, and I'm going to pop all of the, I'm just going to scatter them, to be honest. Just going to scatter them, take the top layer off and pull it all back over again, then just see what becomes of them over the next couple of years. Then I can pull the bigger ones out, and I'll just use this and leave this as my lily bed. And my lily nursery, should I say. So that's what the plan is here. Right, time to go and check the fire to see if the fire's all right and see if the water's not leaked. So as we can see, the tank is dry. That's because, yep, it's warm. So the top pipe will be warm. I'm not touching that because it'll be on fire. The bottom pipe, that's warming up nicely there. That's great. That would be a great help. I have had a bit of a leak. I know what that's for. It's because I overfilled the tank, and when it started getting warm at the top, it started thinging over the top. So I've got a nice full tank there. That's that sorted. Right, the last half an hour, I'm going to tidy back up in here, because I just grabbed what I could to get this sorted. So I'm going to tidy all up. And that's me sorted out. The greenhouse is all tidy. The fire is on. It's banked up. All sorted out. I got one job done out of 9 that I was looking to getting done, but I've still got that list to pick up from tomorrow as well. So I've got to head back home now because poor Sky has got to go for her first test, basically. With the kids in secondary school, they've got to get tested twice a week. So she's going to get tested now to go back to school tomorrow. So I will see you all on the live this evening. Look forward to it. I'm sure we'll have a fantastic time. And I'll be back down here tomorrow to crack on and get the rest of some other jobs sorted out as well. So I'll see you then. Oh, just in case nobody believed us, I did clear up after myself. So all done. See you tomorrow. Good afternoon. It is now Thursday. I messed up yesterday when I said that I was off on Tuesday and Wednesday. It's not. Wednesday and Thursday I'm off this week. It's now Thursday. It's what time is it? It is now 1:30. I have been down to the garden this morning since about 9 o'clock, but I left my phone at home, leaving just my watch and my headphones. So I've spent the morning not on my phone, not recording, not doing anything. I wouldn't know which camera to go at, which angle to go to, what I need to do, what it's going to look like. I've just cracked on and got some gardening done. So I'm going to take and show you what I've done this morning, and then now I'm going to then after that I'll show you what goodies I've been able to pick up as well. Good news about the fire. We've had 0 leaks, no problems, and it's absolutely roasting in this greenhouse, which is fantastic. Just before I go show you what I've been doing in here, the minute it is currently, obviously with the sun as well, it's 25.2 degrees. That's absolutely, it's lovely and warm in here compared to outside. It's blowing a gale. So let's go and show you what I've been doing outside in that greenhouse down there. There was an absolute difference in this middle greenhouse here. This is where I'll be having my tomatoes this year, but before I put the tomatoes in, I put the benches in, and as you can see, I've got the benches put back in place. I've given everything a tidy up. I've got all the pots out from underneath. So all the pots out from underneath. So I've got bench space underneath here. I'm going to need that with the goodies that I've just picked up. So I've put the blue wool on the top as well here. So as you can see, I've got my homemade benches in here. I have made these a lot better as well. Let me just... Timber! Don't stack things up like that, Dean. That would be helpful. So I have made these better because I have raised the bench up a little bit, and also I've put another leg in here, so it's a lot more steady. Same on this side as well. So it's a lot more steady on this side, and I've raised it up a little bit, and also at the back I've put a leg in at the back as well because this was falling down that way. So it's very secure now. I'm not going to give it the bench strength test. When I normally lie on them, I'm not going to, but I'm confident to state that I probably would be able to lie on that. But for what it's needed to be done, what's going to have on it, should I say, it's absolutely fine. But that's another job done, which I'm very pleased with. Got me a little seat in here so I can sit in the middle of the greenhouse if I wanted to do so. I've also been shelling out the long runner beans. So these are the long runner beans from last year. I got the biggest one I got was 27 inches, which is what the bean originally came from. So I've got a few there to play with. So I'm going to put them to somewhere safe for safekeeping. See if I can find something with a lid on the top so mice can get in and take them away. But yeah, this is what I've done so far this morning, and I've still got a couple of hours left. So I'm going to get another job ticked off the list of things to do. Now, not only have I done that, I've been on this bed here. What I've done is all of the little lily bulbs, I've put them in ascending order, so the largest to the smallest, and I've got them in rows. So I've got one in the row here, I've got another row here, just at the edge of the paving slabs, all the way down to the break at the bottom. Then I've got 3 rows of spare garlic that I found. I've just put them in the middle. So that's what is in here, and I've had it all flattened off. The compost that was in the 10-litre tubs, I have put into that box there. So we've got some compost in there, some used compost in there. Now I can put carrots in there, I can put potatoes in there. I'm probably going to be putting potatoes in there. But not waste, not whatnot. Don't waste your used compost, use it. Because all that'll need is a bit of generalised fertiliser, some bloodfish and bone, some Vitax Q4, and that'll be good for potatoes basically. Which leads us nicely onto my general bit of good luck. I've managed to obtain some compost, some 70-30. Basically there's a bit of nutrients in it, but some clay balls and it's cocoa as well. So I've got 20 bags of compost, so I've got to find a home for that, which I'm going to do now. Don't ask me how, but I managed to get them all into Leslie's car as well. Now I'm going to get them back out. I've also found some onion sets as well. Well, that bag's brought in, so ready to go for when I go bring stuff down to pot up. So I've got to get the back section here sorted in the greenhouse. Just got to get tidied up. I might sow them sweet peas again, and I might transit, see what happens. Just before I do head down to the bottom greenhouse to make a start, I just wanted to bring something to a lot of people's attention. Now, as you can hear, it's blowing a gale outside. Absolutely blowing a gale. Now, I get this a lot, and a lot of people do post on Facebook a lot as well about their little greenhouses and stuff like that, and what will happen in the high winds, and also with the cheaper polytunnels as well, the green ones. Now, these are fantastic things for starting off, and they're great for small areas and stuff like that. But even if you have them held down with paving slabs, bricks, heavy objects at the bottom, expect them to blow away. They're nicknamed blow away tunnels for a reason, blow away greenhouses for a reason. You need to have them securely fastened with a bungee cord, or you could have them pegged in with like large, not 10 pegs, like 2-foot pegs basically. Dean Roberts did his in his back garden, and if you watch his video a little while ago, he used 4-foot railing pegs. Now they're not going anywhere, but I do see it a lot where people buy these tunnels and things. It's the first mistake we all make as gardeners. But like I say, lessons learned for it. But what I found myself when it comes to protecting greenhouses from the wind, and I'll show you how I've inherited this, and it's worked an absolute treat. So at the back of my 12B10 here, I have a frame that is up at the back, just at the back section there, and in there is scaffold netting. Now it protects enough for that winds coming this way, and I've had no problems with this in the past 4 years, and I'm sure this greenhouse has been up for at least a decade, and that has done absolute wonders. Not only have I got some here, I've also got some down at the bottom for the bottom greenhouse as well. So this takes the brunt of the wind coming across this way. Wherever they think the wind is coming from, build a frame, get some scaffold netting, and just put it aside. I've got mine on rollers here, so I can roll it up when it's not going to be bad, but it does do a really good job. It's been a while since I've been in the bottom greenhouse, as you can see. So I've got all sorts still going on in here. I've got the giant kohlrabi, it's went to seed, still going there again. I'm going to pull them out. I've got a couple of onions here, just an absolute mess. Tomatoes I've not even taken down in the back there as well. So I'm going to spend a bit of time, and I'm going to get this basically cleared out and see how far I get with it basically. That's the bed all sorted and cleared out. Got some bad news though. Obviously due to neglect again. This ivy is taking over at the back here. There's also a bramble in there as well. And the roots look like they're coming into the bed underneath the ground here. So this wasn't like this last year. So I am going to have to put on the list of jobs to do, the back side of this this shed section. I want to do it sooner rather than later. I can't spray it. I need to pull it all out, and I need to then spray the roots basically. I'll never get into that shed, but that's a job for to do another time. I say I've got some time off coming up in a couple of weeks time. I'll pencil that in to get that done then. But that's one side done, looking much better, tidier. Just got to get this side done now as well. That has taken me around about 30 minutes in total. Just get that back end cleared out and dug over. Spot on. So all I need to do in here is just feed the ground, and then that's ready to go for planting. I do have a few running repairs to make in this greenhouse. That back section there needs a new window section, which I can sort out. I've got a bit of window that can go in there. But yeah, pleased with that. Another job ticked off the list. I've got this back section to sort out. That'll not take long. I might even just pull myself around to doing it now as well. I've just got them to take out. I'm going to leave the compost in the pots there for potatoes, basically. Just use compost. And then I've just got the left hand side to tidy up. So yeah, let's get this done now. Let's get it done. Then the bottom greenhouse is sorted. Well, the weather's taking a turn for the worse. I'm pleased I'm working inside and I've got these inside jobs to do. So I'm going to get this section cleared off. It shouldn't take long. I'm just going to clear all of these out, clear the top of the bench, and we'll leave everything down the bottom section there. Clear these, and that's this done for today. Right, that's that done as well. I've got all my trays brought in. I've still got a little bit of tidying up to sort out, but the bulk of it is done. Bench is in, got to put a new spur in the middle here. All these pots are all done. I just need to go through them and just give them a once over. I've had to tip the soil out, tip it back in again, and then they'll be ready for potatoes this year. I'll put a little bit of feed in there, and then that's them sorted. So that's me done for today. I don't know whether I'm done for this week. It all depends on what I can get sorted at home, because I'll not be back down to allotment. Well, I will be back down to allotment, but I'll not be doing any recording unless I get a chance to do so. But I'm working till like 6:30 over the weekend, so it's going to be dark by the time I finish work. But I'll still be down to sort out the cameras and all that. So I will see you between now and Sunday if I've got to do anything, if anything else. If not, I'll sign off here. Well, before I go, let's have a quick recap of what I've managed to get done over the past 48 hours. So in the greenhouse here, had an unexpected job to do. That has all been fixed, that has all been sorted, no more leaks, spot on. I do want to raise this tank up another brick length, so that the pipes are more going down like that, at a more acute angle, because they're a bit level at the moment, especially that top pipe. I want to be pushing up a little bit, but that's for another day. Inside here, while I've been sitting having a rest, I've chopped some more wood up for the fire, so when I come down it's all sorted and done. I also want to show you what's happening here as well. I've moved the tomatoes and cucumbers, which I was doing as an experiment in a cold greenhouse, which has turned into the heated greenhouse. Nothing yet on the tomatoes, both sides, but if we look at the cucumbers, we have a sign of life there and a sign of life there. Spot on. So I'll leave them over there and let's go have a look outside. First polytunnel, I'm waiting to get some more lats basically. Then I'm going to have this done and I'm going to order the cover, and I want all of this completed by the first week in April. So I want to get it done the first week in April. I've got a bit of time off. I want to get that all done. So that's what the plan is with that. I've been across here. I've sorted out the front beds here. Trimmed them right back. Got some new signs of life coming through. I've scattered across the top of here. Just roughed up the top. I've spread a bit of pigeon manure on the top there as well. And that's been over the rake. Same with this side as well. Been over the rake with this side as well. This side's pretty much all done. I will be growing brassicas in here again this year in both of these beds, so that's the plan with them. Into the polytunnel. So inside of here I've sorted out the lilies, the lily bulbs, the lily combs. Them four I'm going to just leave. I've got little ones at the back there which are already coming back through. I'm going to top that one up just a little bit more. I've put the other lily combs into here, middle bed, so when I get a good drink, so we should have a nice display of lilies in here this year. If I go back outside, this bed I'm using as a nursery, so I've got lines, rows coming down this way, and we'll have to wait and see what becomes of them this year. So in the middle of the greenhouse, it's all tidied up, the benches are put in, supported, and I've also picked up my compost as well, which I will be moving from here. So this is just to dry them out. It's not too bad, it's not good stuff actually, very good stuff. It does have some clear pebbles in. Now I've asked, me and Grandad are going to sieve through one or two of these bags, because I want these pebbles, and I'll tell you the reason as to why later on. But I just want to try something. But this is all done, this is all sorted, bench is all sorted as well. Bubble wrap still left on from last year, I'm not taking that off. But this greenhouse is now ready. And last but not least, into the bottom greenhouse, I've getting the other bench put in, I've getting all of them pots sorted out. Underneath's all tidied, sorted, back's all cleaned out, beds dug over, and the last thing I need to do is just sort that window out. And also I need to get sorted with that vine area, but obviously, like I say, I've got that to do at a later time. But not too bad for 2 days. It probably is more than I could have done, but I'm quite happy with what I've been able to get achieved. I've got 2 or 3 tasks ticked off my list, and that's what it's all about. Set a plan, set a target, and get them done. But that's me for today. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for liking and subscribing. I do go through all of the comments, and I do try to leave a like on there. Thanks to everybody for your support from last week with Grandad's issues with the thieves on the plot. A lot of people are reaching out, and I do thank you very much for that. It was great having on the live this week on Wednesday. We had Tom, we had Dave, we had Tom, what was it? Tom, Dave and Steve. Sorry Steve, just trying to wrap my brain here. Come on the live. It was a last minute thing I decided to do, and it was nice to have a couple of people on. I might do that again in the future. We'll see what happens. But thanks everybody for coming along. It was something a little bit different. But I've been talking to Tom, and we'll be getting Tom back on as a guest in the next few weeks again. But thanks again everybody. I will see you all on the next one. Take care, and I'll see you all next week.